Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm starting a couple of minutes early. I got some lots of folks waiting, and I don't want to keep you guys waiting. I see you all on the waiting there, and so I'm going live early, just a couple of minutes. But hey, couple of minutes is a couple of minutes. How's everybody doing this fine day? I'm Diego. I live in the Panhandle of Florida, near Pensacola, north of Navarre Beach. My prometida is Karina, and she lives in Bogota, Colombia, and she's from Caracas, Venezuela. Beautiful Venezuela. And today, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, she called the embassy in Bogota because in these groups, on these social media platforms, people were saying that the embassy was no longer processing visas in Bogota. So she called the embassy. Hello, are you guys processing visa K1 visas? Yeah. You processing spousal visas? Yes. Oh, okay, great, thanks. Click. So you're getting all this fake news on the social media. We are gonna give you the real answers right here. Kaiser H. Hi Diego. Since the current edition of I-134 will expire July 31st, then when the new edition comes out, most probably August 1st, then will there be any changes to the new edition? I doubt it. They just basically revamped the whole thing, okay? It used to be called Affidavit of Support. That went away. The Affidavit of Support is I-864, which is used when you apply for your green card. They changed the name. The immigration gurus changed it to Declaration of Financial Support. And I don't think there's going to be any changes at all, other than it's going to say a new date. Okay. And the reason immigration update forms and change the date and change the is to prevent immigration fraud. That's the main reason. But next month, guys, when I look at the I-134, we're going to have a live stream all about it, and I'll go over it with you all and explain to you if anything changed. But I can't do anything right now because it's not August. Let's see. Jody Fairfield. Hi, Diego and Karina. Hey, Jody. High five, Jody. Julia Silver. Hi, Diego and Karina. Good night. Well, you just got here. Don't leave. Julia Silver. I got an RFE July 10th. How long does it take to receive the RFE letter? Usually about a week, and it takes about a week. I got an RFE on my first K1 visa back in 2016, and I responded to it right away. And within I think it was like 2 weeks, somewhere like in there, they approved the K1 visa. So give them time to process it. Okay. So it doesn't take long. You should get the letter in about a week and then jump on it, get it done. An RFE doesn't mean your visa's been denied or blocked or anything. It just means that they're missing some information from your package. They just want you to send it to them. That's it. But if you don't have the information they request, then that's when the problems arise. Okay. But make sure you got the information, and I'm sure you do. You'll be all right. Let's see. Christopher Brown. Hi, Diego. Is the COVID vaccine still required for beneficiaries? Yes. Beneficiaries, non-U.S. citizens, okay, tourists. If you're a tourist coming to the United States on a B2 visa, you don't have to show proof of a COVID vaccination. But if you are a beneficiary on a K1 visa or IR1 visa, spousal visa, then you do have to show proof of COVID vaccination. But the good news is it's only one shot required now. Now, I'm not a doctor. Okay, I just know this. Okay. And I'm not an immigration attorney. I don't work for USCIS. I don't work for the State Department. I don't give you any legal advice or medical advice. I just give you my knowledge that I share with you guys from experience. Let me see here. Archer. Hello, hey Archer in Algeria. I'm glad you liked the video I made about Algeria. Francois Livingston, good evening. Diego and Karina. Francois, hello. Jody Fairfield, yes, my son Tana and his fiancee Isabel from Colombia have their interview Monday morning. There you go. See, Karina, okay, on these social media groups, they were saying that the Bogota embassy in Colombia wasn't processing visas anymore. I'm like, wait a second. So I called Karina, and Karina called the embassy, and she talked to Senora Diana, who's in charge of the consular section of the visas in Colombia, and she said, huh? We're processing visas. So you got to be careful about what you believe, okay, on some of these social media posts, because you're gonna read something, and then you're gonna have a heart attack, and you're gonna go to bed stressing out, and then you're gonna want to call me, right? Message me, and then I'll give you the real answer. And so Jody, yeah, Monday morning, good job on the interview. Monday morning, piece of cake, easy. Jason Mabry, I've seen your video regarding the letter of intent to get married. I'm concerned about getting an RFE due to my fiancée letter of intent and notarized letters from her pastor and family was photocopies. Well, Jason, if you got a letter from the pastor, I don't think you'll get an RFE. I think you'll be okay. Okay, just relax. Okay, relax. I think you'll be fine. Notarized letters, you don't have to notarize letters of intent to get married. You don't have to notarize it. You don't have to, because you're sending the original letters in your K1 visa package. The original letter of intent to get married, you write it, your beneficiary writes it, and he or she signs it in black ink. That's an original letter. Doesn't need to be notarized. You'll be right, Jason. Relax. Maciel Martinez. We received NOA 2 letter May 24th, 2023. When do you predict we will receive welcome letter? Does it come via mail or email? Well, you're going to get a welcome letter from the National Visa Center via email, electronic mail, correo electronico, email. Okay. Then you can print it. They're saving postage. But you got the NOA 2 letter May 24th. We got our NOA 2 letter May 30th. So probably the end of August, Maciel Martinez, or the first week of September, right around in there. Be patient. You've got this, okay? Adriana Sorango Nunez. Hello, Diego. How about Peru Embassy? Peru are processing visas, Adriana. K1, spousal visas. Peru is processing visas. Brazil, Argentina, Ecuador, Panama, Guatemala, Honduras. Everybody in South America and Central America are working, processing visas. Everybody. It's all running smoothly. Just stay off of Facebook so you don't get any fake news. Let's see. Julia Silva. I have 2 shots, and people in the K1 visa group I am in say I have to take the bivalent COVID dose. Not true. Julia, you don't have to have that vaccination. You had 2 COVID already. You're good. You perfect. Stay out of Facebook. You're good, Julia. Well, you don't have to stay out of Facebook. You know, I'm just being facetious, okay? You get a lot of bad news in Facebook, and I'll give you the correct news. You don't need to have the bivalent COVID, the third one. No. Francois, when you have a legal document translated from the fiancé's native language to English, do you send the sealed hard copy or the electronic copy? The original. You send the original copy. Okay, the original. Ranger G. Martinez, how long is it taking after the first notification for El Salvador K1? El Salvador processing K1 visas pretty quick. They're doing pretty good. So you get your NOA 1 and NOA 2. It's 1 or 2 months. Let me see. Hold on a second, guys. Adriana, got that one. Got this one. Hello, Diego and Karina. How about Peru? Peru is processing visas. They're doing fine. They're doing it. Kaiser H. Diego, so when as a petitioner, am I supposed to email the Form I-134 to my beneficiary? You need to send her the I-134 on the current edition, and sign it in black ink and get it to her. I would say about a month or 2 after the welcome letter. Once you get the welcome letter, okay? Get the welcome letter from the MVC, get the ready status, then send it to her. Jody, have you heard back from the person who said Bogota is taking 2 to 3 weeks to receive a visa? Last month it was 2 to 4 days. Now it's 2 to 3 weeks. Okay, it's 2 to 3 days, Jody. Okay, it's 2 to 3 days. The Facebook groups are putting out scary information, and I'm correcting it. But I don't like going into Facebook groups. Okay, I don't like it. I go in there sometimes to correct stuff, but very, very infrequently. Okay, so it's going. You turn in your passport and you get it back in about 4 days. Mid woman, hello Diego. I checked on the USCIS website. I got approved today. Good. Now you're going to wait. So you got approved. Now you're going to. How do you mean? So you're going to wait for your NOA2 letter, right? So now you're just waiting for your NOA2 letter, mid woman. Takes about a week. You get it. And then about 90 days for the MVC welcome letter, which is an email. Jason, her letter of intent was in blue ink. Okay, don't worry about it. You'll be all right. Will the lockbox in Dallas said something if there's a problem with our I-129F packet? Yeah. If there's any big errors in your packet, then the lockbox in Dallas will catch it. Brandon Vance, Brother Diego, how are you? And Sister Karina. Brandon, we're doing great. Fantastic. We're just waiting like you guys. We're waiting. Rose, hi Diego, have you heard if Nigeria is still dealing with any backlogs? Nigeria are processing visas. They're doing the best they can, Rose. They're doing the best they can. Jen Ganesh, hi Diego, always tuned into your lives, into the channel. We appreciate you a lot for all the updates. Can you say what the date USCIS is working on? Right now, they're working on July. They're working, actually, right now, USCIS is working on January through July, okay? And there's probably just a very few left for January and February and March, very few. But they're working it. Be patient. Julia Silva, okay, thanks a lot, Diego. Yes, it was a WhatsApp group. Okay, there you go. WhatsApp groups, Facebook groups, you got all these people who don't know what they're doing, don't know what they're talking about, and they post something and everybody goes into a meltdown. Right? And then you jump on the channel, you come on the YouTube live with Diego, and we fix it. And we unconfuse you. Adriana Nunes, appreciate you so much, Diego, for your time. Hey, no problem, Adriana. Glad to be here for you guys. I know how important it is to get reunited with your loved ones. I want to be with Karina, right? You want to be with your loved ones. So we're going to do it together. Lindsay Dorr, hi. When the family reunification program will be beginning, which countries include? Lindsay, okay. Reunification will be, it's going to be Central America. I believe it's Nicaragua, and I believe it's Haiti. Okay, there's no asylum for Venezuelans anymore. Okay, I guess there's too many Republican Venezuelans coming to America, so they stopped Venezuelans. But I'm just kidding, guys. So Nicaragua and Haiti. When will it start? I don't know. It's probably in process right now. Furious Ram, hi Diego, NOA2 July 1st. When will we get the MVC tracking number? You're talking about the case number. So if your NOA2 was July 1st, it's going to take 3 months to get your case number from the MVC. About 3 months. July, August, September, end of September. LK, I just inquired about my case 2 days ago, and today they sent me my case number, April 11th. Hey, good job. You got your case number. But you got to still wait for the ready status, okay? History Blitz. Hi, Diego. How are you? Doing great. History Blitz. We will be in Miami the second week of August on our honeymoon. Can we buy you a coffee to thank you for our help? History Blitz. I don't know where I'll be at that time. I don't know where I'll be. I'll probably still be here in the Panhandle. But I appreciate it. You can send me a super chat if you want, and I'll go buy a coffee tomorrow. But I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I don't know where I'll be at that time, my friend. But you know, check back at the next one. Oh, Jorge Rivas Seville. Any information about embassy for Russians? Poland. Yeah. The U.S. embassy in Russia is closed, the Moscow. Okay. There's a very small staff operating there right now. So if you have a beneficiary, our beautiful friends in Russia who are getting the short end of the stick because of politics, right? The people are the ones that suffer, okay? But right now, if you are a beneficiary in Russia, you got to get to Poland for your visa interview. In order to get to Poland, you got to have a Schengen visa, okay? So look into Schengen visas for your beneficiary, and then that way you can get your future bride to be in America. So that's the deal with Russia, the Russian Federation. Jody, I saw on the Visa Journey website they are telling them in Bogota it's 2 to 3 weeks. I thought Visa Journey was pretty good. They are pretty good. Visa Journey's pretty good, okay? Visa Journey's pretty good. But you got to watch out for the people that are posting stupid stuff. Visa Journey's pretty good, okay? But it's not taking 2 to 3 weeks. That's insane. Midwoman, I heard that sometimes after you get approval NOA2, they can reconsider and change status. And they say they send it back to the Department of State. Now, Midwoman, here's what can happen, okay? Sometimes, one in every 1,000, let's say. USCIS approves the K1 visa. They send it to the NVC, National Visa Center, the State Department. The State Department get it, and they look at it, and they find an error that USCIS didn't catch, okay? Just like the lockbox in Dallas. If you send your visa package to the lockbox in Dallas, there's an error, they'll send it back to you. If USCIS give you an approval, send it to the NVC finds a problem, they'll send it back to USCIS because the NVC have zero authority to approve or deny visas. So it goes back to USCIS. USCIS will look at it and say, okay, you forgot this, Mr. Beneficiary, Mr. Sponsor, Miss Sponsor. They'll send you an RFE. Okay? But it's very rare that happens. Rose, thank you. No problem. Brandon, Brother Diego, is it possible to travel internationally with beneficiary after you get married and before green card on their native passport? You can do that, but only with an advance parole document. And you got to buy that. Okay? So when you get into the United States, you guys get married and you apply for your green card, adjustment of status, Form I-865 plus I-864 plus I-693, the medical exam and vaccination. When you apply for your green card, you need to also apply for an advanced parole document, which costs a lot of money. It costs a ton of money. But if you want to travel, right, without your green card, without any status, in the middle of an adjustment of status process, it's a risky thing to do because you may come back to the United States and you get a border patrol officer that's having a bad day and might say, well, you abandoned your green card. You haven't even got your green card yet. You already left America. Okay? So you can travel without your green card with an advanced parole document. But I don't recommend it. Don't do it. My opinion. I don't, I wouldn't do that. When Karina gets to America, she's staying here with me till she's American citizen. Then we're going to travel. I mean, we're going to travel internally, all right, in America, in the United States, in our republic. We call it a republic, but not before that. Not before that. Her family in Colombia are going to just have to wait. Let's see. Well, Jason, thank you, Diego, for putting my mind at ease. You're good. You'll be fine, Jason. Don't worry about it. There are conflicting information about original photocopies with letters of intent. Immigration prefer the original signed letter in black ink. Okay, the original letter, they prefer that. Okay, and if you sent a copy of it, if you just send a copy, bring the original to the embassy. The second letter of intent. Okay, don't bring a copy to the embassy. When you go to the embassy interview, then you bring the second letter of intent, the original signed in black ink. Okay, just relax. You'll be all right. Jacqueline Guerrero, NOA2, May 10th, okay, 2023. I received an email that NVC has received my petition. Ooh, good. High five for you. Good job. 63 days waiting for case number and welcome. 63 days. There you go. Not too bad. Good job, Jacqueline. Lindsay Dorr, no problem. Juan Cruz. Hi, Diego. On my 3-year taxes, I-134 form 2 years. I did not make that much money, but last year, 2023, I'm good. Do I need a sponsor? If you made enough money in 2023 that is equal to or above, let's go with 125% because we're going to think green card application, okay? Even though you need to be at 100% for the embassy interview for an I-134, because even though it's a non-immigrant visa, when you get to the United States, it's treated as an immigrant visa. I know it's confusing, but I'll try to unconfuse you. But if you made enough money in 2023 and you can prove it with pay stubs, bank statements, a letter from your employer, okay? If you were, behind in 2022, but you can prove it in 2023 from what I just said, you'll be fine, okay? Immigration just want to see that you make enough money. You just got to prove it. Ranger Martinez. I'm sorry, Diego. My question was, I already received my notification number when it's last for El Salvador to send. Okay, so you got NOA 1 and you're waiting for NOA 2. Okay, I understand. You'll get it. Jorge Cervello. I request Turkey for my fiance interview. Is that durable? Sure, Ankara, Turkey. Absolutely. Whatever you put down on your I-129F is where NVC is going to send your package. Okay, but you got to also remember that your beneficiary needs to be a resident in that country. Also, Karina is from Venezuela, but she's a legal resident of Colombia. All right. So I had to prove that by making a photocopy of her residency card for Colombia. She has to be legal in Colombia in order to get her K1 visa. Okay. Jacob Myers. Good evening, everyone. Hey, Jacob. Vanessa. Hi, Diego. Welcome letter will be sent via email. That's right. Can we also verify we've received the welcome letter online when we check our case? Sure, if you want to, but I would just wait for the email. Don't give yourself a headache constantly checking stuff. I got my phone here. The only app I have on here is YouTube and Facebook, so I can keep up with the fake news folks. Let's see. Jody, that's great news. God willing, my son's fiance is approved Monday. Sure, he will. And I'll let you know what they say. Any last minute advice for them? Dress business casual. Okay. Don't speak unless spoken to. Don't wear any wedding engagement rings or anything like that. If you had a big engagement party in Colombian attire, don't bring those pictures. You don't want to give any impression that it was a marriage ceremony. And these are the questions, Jody. These are the questions that I'm pretty sure that your son's going to get, okay? Or his fiance, okay? His fiance. How do you communicate with each other? Does your son speak Spanish? That's going to be a question. How do you communicate with each other? Well, we communicate this way. When was the last time you were with each other? Well, he's in Colombia right now. So that one is already taken care of. Okay, it's going to be about 4 questions, and it's not going to be difficult. Just be calm, be relaxed. The Colombian immigration officer is trying to determine, how does your son communicate with his future wife? Okay, that's how. She's Colombian, he's American. How do they communicate? Once they've established that they can chat with each other in English or Spanish, the rest is smooth sailing. Julia Silva, when I receive my RFE letter, should we send strictly what they ask for? Yes. Don't add anything. Don't just send what they ask for. If they ask whatever they ask for, you send. Don't send anything more. Okay? You don't want to. Just send what they ask for. God's Power Thomas. I received my letters from MVC May 22nd. I filled my DS-160 on May 25th. My status is ready. Yet to receive information for me to pay for my visa. Well, you got to have an invoice number. If you got God's Power Thomas, you need an invoice number, okay, to pay for the visa. Got to have that, an invoice number. Your case is ready for your interview when scheduled at the U.S. Consulate section. If you've already scheduled an appointment for an interview, you got to have the invoice number. email the embassy. Send them an email. In the subject line, put your case number that you have, your beneficiary's name, date of birth, and so they can find her in the system, and then they will help you. Eric Lynn, good morning from the Philippines. All right, please shout out to my fiance in the U.S. His name is Eric. He always watches your videos. Eric Lynn, hey, Eric. This is a shout out to Eric from Lynn in the beautiful Philippines. Now, Lynn, you got to remind us all, which part of the Philippines are you in? Are you in like Dubai? Excuse me, Cebu? Cebu's beautiful. Now, Philippines is what, like 7,000 islands, right? At least 7,000 islands. And it's a beautiful part of the world. You go whale watching. I think there's a place you can go whale watching and things like that. So shout out to Eric and to Lynn. Juan Cruz, no problem, thanks. Barathi Kilari, how much time taken 221G process? Depends on what they're looking for on the 221G. If it's a security check, it could take a couple of months. Okay, if it's just administrative, then 2 or 3 weeks. But if if they're doing an additional security check, then it could take a couple of months. Juan Cruz, do I need to mail or print anything on I-134 form or everything online? Okay, Juan Cruz, here's how you do it. You fill out your I-134 online and you print it. You print your I-134. You sign it, you date it, and then you check it 10 times to make sure you didn't mess anything up, okay? And then you mail that original I-134 to your beneficiary. DHL, FedEx, the original, okay? Not a copy, not a scanned copy, the original, okay? It's easy to do. Go into USCIS forms or USCISforms.gov/forms. Look for I-134, not I-134A. I-134A is for asylum seekers. I-134. Fill it out, print it, sign it, date it, ship it. Boom. As for your taxes and just your last year's tax return, W-2s, 1099s, tax transcripts. But I would send a 3 years worth. You never know. You never know what these immigration officers are going to ask for. Send 3 years. Sorry, this is my first time doing this. We're going to help you, Juan Cruz. It's not going to be hard. We're going to help you get through this. Don't be sorry. This channel is for you guys. This channel is to help you, okay, to get you through this. So you understand the process, Juan Cruz. Fill out the form online and print it. Now, some of the information on the form online, you won't be able to fill out on a computer. It's okay to use a black ink pen, okay? It's okay to use a black ink pen to fill in parts that you could not fill in with the computer. It's not a problem to do that. Furious Ram, what happens if you don't get a welcome letter before the expiration date of the NOA2? Disregard the expiration date, Furious Ram, on the NOA2 letter. It's irrelevant, okay? You are in the middle of a K-1 visa process or a spousal visa. The expiration date is 4 months, right? It's irrelevant. Immigration, understand it takes longer than that to get this process done, okay? That was put on there from back in 4 years ago before COVID, 3 years ago before COVID. Before COVID, all this stuff was getting done within 2 or 3 months. So they put a 4-month window of time on the NOA2 letter. They just haven't updated the NOA2 letter. So disregard that, okay? Don't even worry about that because it doesn't expire. As long as you are in contact with the embassy, as long as the NVC has sent you a welcome letter, and as soon as you pay for the visa fee, once you pay the visa fee, you get up to your visa's automatically extended for a year. So you're good. So don't worry about that. Jason Mabry, I will be bringing my fiance interview folder to her in September. Good. Me too. For Karina, probably September. Well organized. Good. My boss rounded up my income and my letter of proof of employment. Good for him. Will that be a problem? Not at all. No, you're good. Relax. That's perfect. I'm going to estimate my, I'm probably going to estimate my final 1 year income for 2023. I'll have to estimate it because I don't know what it's going to be. So I'm going to estimate it on my I-134 for 2023. And then immigration is going to look at my bank statements. They're going to look at my direct deposits, and they're going to say, yeah, he's pretty close. It's an estimation. Let's see. Jacob, August, the new financial forms come out. In August, I-134s. Be here. In August, we'll go over it. Bharathi Kalari, 221G refused. What's the next process? Refused or denied? Refused or denied. What was it for? What was the 221G for? What was it? A security check? I need to know. I need a little bit more information as to what happened there. Jason, can I bring her the I-134 form in September? Yeah. All right. Our I-129F was received December 2022. Yeah, you can do that, but make sure you use the right edition. Okay, use the correct edition of the I-134. Got to use the right edition. Adriana Sarango Nunez. Hello, Diego and Karina. Hey, Adriana, ¿cómo estás? How much time is it taking nowadays from NOA1 to NOA2? 12 months. No problem, Adriana. It's a 12-month turnaround right now. And I've seen a few 11 months, but the average is 12 months. 12 months is the average. God's Power Thomas, how long will it take to receive my invoice to go pay for a visa fee? How long will it take to receive your invoice to pay the visa fee? Now, these are questions for the embassy. You have to contact the embassy and ask them. I don't know the answer to that question. That's an embassy question. They'll respond to you in an email. When I get to the welcome letter stage, and I get an email, and I get the transit and then the ready status, I'm going to send an email to the U.S. Embassy in Bogota and say, this is Diego, this is my beneficiary, Karina, this is her case number, this is her invoice number. If I have it, if I don't have it, I'll just put the case number and say, what do I do? I know what to do, but I'm going to tell them what I'm going to ask them. I'm going to make them respond back to me so they know now I'm active. Okay, they know I'm back active. And that keeps the visa in process. Let's see. S. Juarez. Hello, D and K. 1 month waiting for our MVC letter and counting. Do you think we should send an inquiry? Send an inquiry in 2 months more. Okay? In the middle of September. Right now it's too early. Let's see here. Zaya Zomaya, just joining in. Welcome, Zaya. Was yesterday's process numbers? What should we be expecting going forward? Well, that's too optimistic. Was yesterday's process numbers? Don't understand the question. You're confusing me here. Zaya, repeat the question a different way. Was yesterday's process numbers? What? What numbers? For what? I don't understand. Repeat differently. I know maybe your English isn't your first language. And you're doing good though. Your English is good, but ask the question a little differently so I can answer it. Nash, hello Diego and Karina. I got my case number today. How long will it be to take the MVC send case number from transit to ready? Depends on the embassy. It depends on how busy the embassy is. Okay, every embassy around the world's got a different time frame. Okay, give me some idea from what embassy. Whoop slap. Hey, Diego, I finally got my soon-to-be wife to watch your video. She is in the Philippines. You got to force her to watch a video? Oh, come on, man. That's all right. No problem. We're glad she was able to get to watch a video. And we wish her well. We look forward to when she gets to America. Now, in your hometown, Whoop slap, where you live, in your hometown, do they have any Philam clubs, Philippine American clubs, associations? Find them. See if they have one, okay, and then go introduce yourself, because then your soon-to-be wife will have some Filipino friends that she can make friends with when she gets to your city, so she doesn't feel like a fish out of water. Mr. Najas, Diego, what NOA1? June 17th, 2022. I got approved July 11th. What's next? Now, Mr. Najas, you got to wait for your welcome letter from the National Visa Center. Okay? Wait for the welcome letter from the National Visa Center. It takes about 3 months to get that. God's power, I have written up to 4 times, no reply. No, you're too early. Immigration look at it, they delete it. They're like, dang, be patient, right? Be patient. Let's see. Jody Fairfield, thank you so much, Diego. Last question on the packet 3 and 4 doesn't ask for a march. No, it's easy to fill out. They're taking so much extra stuff. Is that good? Yes, bring it. Also, have you heard anything about Atlanta? Atlanta POE. Atlanta Port of Entry is busy. I don't recommend going through Atlanta as a port of entry for a visa process for K1 or spousal. K1. Atlanta's the hub of the world. Every single international flight that lands in Atlanta is going to land with your son and his beneficiary, your future daughter-in-law. It's a nightmare. I would not fly through Atlanta if it was the last airport on the planet. Okay, pick another airport if you can, if possible. If it's impossible, then you got to stick with it. But you're going to have 2 hours of waiting in line. You're going to have probably 6, 7, 8 international flights all landing at the same time. It's going to be a madhouse unless you arrive at 2 o'clock in the morning. Jet One Cruise, thank you, no problem, de nada. Nash, Ghana Embassy, Accra. Yeah, I know in Accra, Ghana is good. It's pretty quick turnaround there for embassy, turnaround for the visas. It's no problem. Ghana is a beautiful country. And Jody, take extra stuff. It's better to be, over-prepared than under-prepared, okay? The K1 visa interview is going to be fast. In Colombia, it's going to be rapid. No problem. But bring extra stuff just in case. Just in case. Okay, Zaya. So yesterday, USCIS processed about 400 applications. Should we expect their speed to remain at 400? So in one day or in 1 week, USCIS are processing 1,200 K1 visas a week, 12 to 1,300 a week. Okay, it's about 5,000 a month. That's pretty good. 5,000 to 6,000 a month is a good turnaround. Whoop slap. Not forced. She is so tired. I'm from Missouri. Understand? So the time difference. And we have a big group of Filipinos here. Good. Then that way you should make friends with all your new Filipino friends, and they should be making you lumpia. You should be snacking on lumpia while watching these videos, right? The live stream. You're watching the live stream. You should have some lumpia, right? It's good. That's my favorite spring roll. Jason, me as the sponsor, will there be any issues me going to visit her during our K1 visa process? No, Jason, get on a plane, go see her. Keep all your boarding passes. Keep all your receipts. Okay? Take lots of pictures together because you can use those, put them in an album for the embassy interview. Whoop slap, is LA a good port of entry? Los Angeles, LAX is busy. Lots and lots of international flights land in LAX. And it's a busy city. Once you get on the freeway in California, I've driven in Los Angeles, okay? It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. It'll take you an hour to go up 2 miles on the freeways there. It's insane. Unless you landed very late in the evening. If it's late at night, yeah, there's no problem. But in the daytime, avoid Atlanta, avoid LAX. It's a good port of entry, but it's busy. Orlando Lopez. Hi, Diego. For K1 interview, did she have to have birth certificate and police report translated? Yes. When you go to the visa interview, when your beneficiary goes to the visa interview, if her birth certificate is in a foreign language, it's got to be translated into English. The police certificate. Let's take Karina as an example. I use Karina a lot as an example. She lived in Venezuela. She lives in Colombia. Her birth certificate's in Spanish. I used a company called the Spanish Group. They translated the police certificate for Colombia and Venezuela and her birth certificate. So that was 3 separate documents, 3 separate translations, 3 separate certifications. I included that in the K1 visa package. Now, when we go to the embassy interview in Bogota, I'm going to repeat the process except for the birth certificate. I'm going to use the birth certificate we translated from the past. Okay, that's still good. And then I'm going to get 2 new police certificates, Venezuela and Colombia, get them translated into English, get them certified, and include that in the package of stuff that you bring to the embassy interview. Angel Tate, hi Diego, my fiance is watching and we're learning a lot from you. Well, that's the mission. We want you to learn. We want you to understand that this process isn't as difficult as it's made out to be. A lot of folks think it's very difficult to do this. It's not. So they get scared. They meet the love of their life in a different country. American citizen meets the love of his life or her life, and they start studying up on how to do it. And they think this thing is so difficult. And they start paying for companies to process their paperwork. They spend $2,000-3,000 on immigration attorneys. You don't need to. It's not difficult to do. So what I did with this channel was I confused everybody. I unconfused everybody. I made it easy so you guys can understand the process. I've made over 600 videos on how to put together a K1 visa, or how to put together letters of intent to get married, or, you know, I made videos about Karina and I and our adventures in Colombia. We climbed the tallest waterfall in Colombia, the 6th highest in South America, or in Colombia, excuse me. We climbed it, we hiked it, took us 2 hours. Man, about killed me. And I made a video about it and posted it on YouTube. If you can find it, watch it. But it's got nothing to do with K1 visas. It's just something of interest for you guys. Let's see here. Frank Nagasco. Hey, Diego, the welcome letter is taking a little over 3 months. From the MVC, yes. Nash, what are the documents need to prepare for the interview? I made a video about that, Nash. There's a video I made about what documents you need for the embassy interview. I don't have time to explain it all right now in a YouTube live stream. But if you watch that video, you'll be educated on it. You just got to dig through the videos to find it. Just got to hunt through them. Okay? And then you'll be able to know what to do. It's easy, guys. Jason, hey Nash, my fiance is in Kumasi. Interview in Accra also. There you go. Frank, I'm over 3 months already and still waiting. Be patient, Frank. It's between 65 and 110 days, right in there. Whoop slap, haha, I can make lumpia and adabo. Now, I never ate adabo, but I got hooked on lumpia when I was in the Navy. Jacob, what airport is best for international? Miami. Let's see here. It's a tough question for me to. I think I'll make a video about it. I need to do more research, but we're going to fly in through Miami, Orlando. Let me see. The ones I would say to avoid would be New York, Atlanta, or LAX. Those are the 3 ones I would avoid. Any other airport is good. Okay. But just stay out of JFK, stay out of LAX and Atlanta. Whew. No. Let's see. Orlando. Thank you, sir. All your best. All the best. Orlando, we're here for you. We're going to pull you over the finish line, okay? Let's see. Nash, when is the next shipping date for MVC Diego? They ship every 2 weeks. And I made a video. If you look, I made a video. Look through the videos for MVC shipping dates. And you'll watch the video. And I broke it down for the whole year from now all the way through December 31st. Watch the video. It'll give you the shipping dates. It's MVC shipping dates. It's the video. Let's see. GLK Dog 01. One question. After you get approved, waiting for MVC, do you have to submit paperwork before interview? No. You bring all the paperwork to the visa interview. Your beneficiary, she or he, will bring all of the documents to the interview in her little case, in a folder. It's not difficult, guys. You don't have to upload anything. The only thing you're going to have to upload for the K1 visa at the visa stage is a passport photo of your beneficiary for the DS-160, because that picture is going to be used in the K1 visa that gets put in the passport. So you don't have to upload anything or submit anything. MVC don't ask you for squat. The MVC is going to give you a case number and mail it to the embassy. And then it's up to you, Mr. Sponsor, to ensure your beneficiary has all the paperwork with him or her for the interview. Jody, you think Miami is better port of entry than Atlanta? Absolutely. My son wants to fly Delta because he says they treat military better. He's Army, and Delta seems to skip over Miami a lot. Okay, I'm 20 years in the Navy. Okay, I flew Delta, and they didn't treat me so well. Okay, the plane breaks down. They don't have a pilot. They need a flight attendant crew. They don't have an air crew. Delta and I do not get along. Okay, but that's me. That's not you guys. Okay, the airline that I fly. Okay, I'll fly Southwest. I'll fly American Airlines. That's it. If it doesn't say American Airlines, and also I'll fly the company from Colombia, Avianca. I will endorse 3 airlines. Okay, Avianca, American Airlines, and Southwest. That's it. As for Delta Airlines, I don't know how they are now, whether they've improved, but I will not sit my butt down on a Delta airplane seat ever again. That's me, though. One cruise. I did not send an intent to marry letter on my first package. Only one letter from beneficiary, a love letter. Can I get an RFE? No, you will. Juan Cruz, you are going to get an RFE. So get those letters ready tomorrow. Contact your beneficiary, and she needs to write a letter of intent to get married in her language of origin, unless she can speak fluent English. Okay. She needs to write a letter of intent to get married. You need to write a letter of intent to get married. And I made a video on what you need to include in the letters of intent to get married. But the 3 things that you must include in those letters of intent to get married. I, 1, am a U.S. citizen. I, 2, am legally free and able to get married. I'm legally able to marry my beneficiary. Number 3, I will promise to do so within 90 days. Those 3 things must be in your letter of intent to get married, Juan. And yes, you're going to get an RFE. Okay. But don't worry about it. Okay. You made a little bit of a mistake. Don't worry about it. It just slows your process up a little bit. Get the letters ready tomorrow. Contact your beneficiary tonight and say, hey, we need these letters. I need for you to start getting this letter ready. And then when you get the RFE, you're going to have the letters at your house ready to go. Oh, here's my RFE for a letter of intent to get married. Boom, boom, put it in the mail. FedEx, UPS, DHL, so you can track it and handle it. Okay. Okay, Juan, I don't want you to stress this, okay, but you're going to get asked for that information. It's the cornerstone of your package. All right, I'll help you through it. I'll get you through it. Jason to Jacob would be my opinion. DFW, Dallas-Fort Worth, yeah. Dallas-Fort Worth is a good airport. Angel Tate, why should we stay out of JFK? Do they ask difficult questions? No, they don't ask difficult questions. They're busy. If you land into John F. Kennedy Airport, which is in Queens, you're going to have 10 international flights all landing with you at 10 different terminals. All these people are going to get off the plane at the same time. Probably 1,000 people per plane, or I don't know, 800 people per plane. So you're going to have between 4,000 to 7,000 people all trying to go through an immigration line. That's a long time. Okay. So they don't ask difficult questions. No, once you get to America, the questions are going to be easy. They're not going to, but you got to understand the mass of people. JFK is a big airport. It's an international hub for the Europe, from Italy, Spain, Sardinia, France, the European Union. All these international flights are landing at JFK. right? That's a lot of people. The immigration line is going to be horrendous. It's got nothing to do with questions. It's all about getting you through an immigration line with as minimal time and stress as possible. Atlanta, no. JFK, no. LAX, no. Miami-Dade, sure. Orlando, sure. Dallas-Fort Worth, sure. Let's see here. Cash flow, cash flow, cash flow. I was just in Atlanta going to Panama. It went just fine. There you go. Depends on the time of the day also. But you aren't going through a K1 visa interview, right? All right. But that's good information. But I will not fly through Atlanta. Even if I'm not even on vacation, I will not go through that airport. Whoops slap. I watched the shipping dates video. Okay, good. How do you know when yours was shipped? I don't care when mine was shipped. It's irrelevant to me. I don't care when it was shipped. What I care about is the welcome letter from the MVC. When USCIS shipped my K1 visa package to the MVC in New Hampshire, to me is irrelevant. I don't care. The only thing I'm looking for is the welcome letter. Okay? The email. And that takes how long? 90 days. So for the next 60 days, 30 days have passed, I think, I'm just going to relax and wait for the welcome letter from the MVC. I don't care when USCIS shipped it. Whenever USCIS ship your package to the MVC is going to sit on it anyway because they're still processing in front of you guys, in front of new people. Just focus on this. NOA 1 to NOA 2, 12 months. NOA 2 to MVC welcome letter, 3 months. Welcome letter to ready status depends on the embassy. Depends on the embassy. Let's see. So, whoops slap. Don't even worry about when they shipped your stuff. Don't worry about it. Nash. Okay, thank you. No problem, Nash. Jason, Diego, do you know if the biometrics is done at the interview in Accra? The biometrics is going to be done as directed in the packet 4, I believe. You're going to get directions on what to do. And I think it's done in Accra, yes. I believe so. But you're going to get directions. You're going to get told how to do this. They're going to lead you by the hand. This channel is going to get you to that point. Jody, great. Okay, great. Thanks so much, Diego. No problem. Yeah, I will. I went through my first K1 visa. My first K1 visa was in 2016. I was not really educated on this process like I am now. So I flew through Atlanta with my beneficiary. 7 international flights landed at the same time. It took 3 hours to get through immigration. Then we had to go to the face-to-face visa interview in the office in Atlanta. We had a connecting flight. Little did I know it was going to take 3.5 hours to do this. The connecting flight, we almost missed it by like 2 minutes. Okay? So here's my advice to you guys. Fly into an airport that's not busy. And then make your connecting flight. Arrive early in the morning if you can. Okay, Karina and I were going to arrive in Miami, like at say 7 o'clock in the morning, get a night flight. But we're not going to buy a connecting flight to Pensacola. I'm going to rent a car. It's going to take me, it'll cost me less money to rent a car. It's like $50, $60 to rent an SUV from Miami to Pensacola to here. And then I don't have to worry about when I land in Miami with Karina. I don't have to worry about a connecting flight. I don't have to worry if immigration is going to take a long time or not take a long time. Because this is the last stop for us. Whenever our immigration interview is, whenever we get through the visa process is whenever it is. But we'll get through it. And then we'll leave Miami. I'll rent a car with Enterprise Rent a Car and drive us home. It takes about 12 hours. But if you have a connecting flight, guys, make sure you got a 10-hour window between your connecting flight and when you arrive. So at least 8 to 10 hours. So you got time to get to your connecting flight and get through immigration. Okay? Jacob, would trying to get a flight through Seattle from the Philippines be best? I've had a lot of issues with Dallas Fort Worth. Okay, go through Seattle. Seattle's a kind of a calm, quiet airport. They don't get a lot of international flights in Seattle. It just rains a lot in Seattle. It's like England. It rains a lot. You're going to arrive, it's going to be raining. Make sure you got an umbrella in your bag. But Seattle's good. Yes. Juan Cruz, letters written by hand or computer. Write them by computer. Sign them in black ink. Computer's just fine. Make it easy for the immigration officer to read it. If I wrote my letter of intent to get married by hand, the immigration officer would have a heart attack. I would get an RFE. Redo it. I can't read it. Use the computer, Juan. You're good. Unati Goswami. What's the update for May 17th, 2022? I'm still waiting to get my NOA too. Well, you should be hearing this month. Giving you an exact day is hard to do. All these range numbers and stuff is all irrelevant. USCIS are not following the range numbers. They're not following the dates. They're taking visas off the shelf and they're looking at them. And if they're complicated, they'll set them aside. They'll go to an easy one and then they'll adjudicate it. Then they'll go back to the complicated one. Okay? My visa was complicated because I'm on my second K1 visa. So it was a complicated visa. So they took my visa off the shelf and looked at it and they said, oh, this is complicated. And they set it aside. And then people from June were getting approved. People from May of 2022 were getting approved. And I'm an April filer, 2022. May, I was saying like 200 or 300 people in May of 2022 got their visas approved before mine. And I'm an April filer. Did I get upset about it? No, I wasn't worried about it because I knew my visa package was complicated. Then on May 30th, I got the approval when they started doing the Junes. So that's how it works, guys. Jason, let's see. Jason, in my fiance letter of intent, she mentioned dates of my visit and proposal, but didn't date the letter. Got to date the letter, guys. Also, she mentioned we'll marry in 90 days. Good. Landing in Texas, but we will be living in Arkansas. Perfect. You might slide with that. I think you might get away with that, Jason, as long as she signed it in black ink or blue ink. Black's preferred. But if she mentioned dates in the letter, this date, that date, when you met and all that, I think immigration officer is going to figure that out. Francois, Diego, I'm not clear on this. So I used the Spanish group to translate 4 documents, okay? They sent the translated version electronically and the hard copy sealed in an envelope via FedEx. My question is, do I send the sealed hard copy or the electronic one? Here's what you need to do. Make photocopies of those. Make photocopies and include those and keep the hard copies at your house. Okay? Same thing happened to me. I used the Spanish group. I translated Karina's birth certificate into English using the Spanish group. They sent it to me via my Gmail, and they sent me a hard copy to my house at the mailbox. I made a photocopy of it at UPS. Was it the UPS store or the Office Depot? I think it was Office Depot. I made a copy of it, and I sent the copies in. And then you keep the originals at your house. Kaiser, Diego, so when my beneficiary lands in any of the airports in the U.S., is it okay for her to join the line for permanent residence so that she can be processed much, much faster? Okay, Kaiser H, this is what you do. When you land, are you going to be with her or not? Are you going to accompany her or not accompany her? Are you going to be with her, Kaiser H? If you're going to be with her, you can bring her through the U.S. citizenship line. If she's going to be by herself, then she will go through the immigrant line, through the green card holder line. Okay. AK-47 hotshot. 3 months and waiting for welcome letter from MVC. Yep. Website information is inaccurate. Absolutely. I wonder why others waiting for K1 get it quicker. Everybody's visa is different. Everybody's in a different process. Okay, you can't use a cookie cutter to, say this is how my K1 visa is going to operate. It doesn't work like that. My K1 visa got adjudicated way at the end of May, and there was people in May and June getting their visas approved, and I'm an April filer. But I knew that was going to happen because my visa was complicated. They had a lot of research to do, a lot of investigation to do. Unati Goswami. Thank you. No problem. One crew. Denise Jefferson. Denise. Diego, will the Spanish group review my beneficiaries' transcripts for U.S. equivalency even though they were already in English? Or is it their primary focus is to translate from one language to another? No, they'll look at it if it's in English. Ask them to change it into a U.S. equivalency, whether it's in English or not. They'll charge you. It's not much money. I don't know, about $10, I think. But they'll translate it or they'll adjudicate it for you. No, it's no problem, Denise. Not a problem. What's important is the information, right? Adriana Sarango Nunez. Hello, Diego. Sorry for asking again. No, you're good. Don't say sorry, guys. Ask me anything you want. But what is the 3 and 4 packet? Thank you again. Okay, packet 3 is when the National Visa Center sends you the welcome letter. Packet 4 is when the embassy sends you directions on what to do. Packet 3, welcome letter from NVC. Packet 4, NBC directions. Embassy directions. You need to do this, 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 and this. It's that simple. You got it, Adriana? You got it? You understand? ¿Tú entiendes? Packet 3, welcome letter. Packet 4, embassy directions. Orlando Lopez, you included her birth certificate to the I-129F. Yes, I did. I included Karina's birth certificate. I translated it into English and included it in the I-129F. Kaiser H, I will be with her. Okay, Kaiser H, you're going to accompany your beneficiary to the United States. You will bring her to the U.S. citizens line. When the plane lands and you go and you see all the directions and the arrows for immigration, you're going to see the immigration. Welcome to the United States. Buena venida a Estados Unidos. Okay, you're going to be in America. You're going to look for U.S. citizens this way. You're going to take her by the hand and your suitcase, and you're going to walk into the U.S. citizen line. It's perfectly okay to do that because you are in a K-1 visa process. When you travel with her internationally in the future, okay, in the future, she has her 10-year green card. You go with her through the U.S. citizenship line, all right? They don't separate families. Now, if she travels alone, then she will travel through the green card line. And how long will it take for the Customs and Border Patrol to process her after we arrive in the USA? 30-40 minutes. Adriana Sarango Nunez, sí, me alegra. History Blitz, my fiance was able to secure a social security number without a license. Okay. Should we change last name when submitting paperwork? Yeah. History Blitz, when Karina gets her Florida driver's license, she's going to be using my last name. Okay. But she probably won't be getting her driver's license. See, the thing is this, in Florida, you got to have a social security number to get a driver's license. Okay. So, we're going to have to wait for the social security number to get here before she can get her driver's license. Then when she goes to get her driver's license, she's going to use my last name. But that's not going to be part of the adjustment of status paperwork because she won't have her social security number. So, it's just part of this whole process, It is what it is, guys. We go through it and we get through it. Adjustment of status, you apply for your 2-year green card. 3 months before that expires, you apply for the 10-year green card, okay? When you apply for your adjustment of status, you've got to include Form I-94, that you are face-to-face with a Border Patrol officer. You got to include the affidavit of support, the adjustment of status form, and the medical and vaccination documents. And today, I called Karina on the phone, and I said, "Hey, where are your vaccination documents? Where are your vaccination documents? I want to check them and see what you need." She goes, "Oh, I don't know. They must be in Venezuela." I said, "Okay, no problem." So tomorrow she's going to go get a blood test done, and they're going to look in her blood for all the antibodies for the list of vaccinations that are required by USCIS. Okay, do you understand what I'm saying? So tomorrow, it take a couple of days. I'll pay the doctor to do the blood test, and then we will know what her vaccinations were when she was a kid, when she was a little girl. They will come up on the antibody test. And then I'll know what vaccinations she needs, and then we'll get them done. It's cheaper to get it done in Colombia than here. Let's see. History blitz. Okay, so my fiance's European driver's license has a maiden name on it, but a USA driver's license application will have her change name. Is this an issue when trying to swap? No. She's getting married to you, History Blitz. She's going to be Mrs. History Blitz. Karina's going to marry me, Diego. She'll be Mrs. Diego. Her driver's license will be Mrs. Diego. Diego Ross. Okay? It's no problem. Denise, Diego, if my beneficiary gets an NOA2, what kind of things can cause him to get denied at the interview, especially when we have already invested thousands of dollars? Things that can get you denied at the visa interview at the embassy would be being the immigration officer doesn't believe the relationship is real. So your beneficiary is nervous. He can't answer simple questions. You know, he's only going to get probably 4 questions. And if he messes up the questions, you know, and he's nervous and sweaty and acting kind of like, you know, nonchalant, then that could be a problem. So you got to go into the visa interview, business attire and confident. Okay. Confident, big smile, and don't argue with the immigration officer. Wait for the questions, respond to the questions. You know, here's a question. Karina, right now. Karina's at the immigration interview. When did you and Diego meet each other for the first time? El Dorado International Airport in 2021. Okay. How do you communicate with each other, Karina? Your sponsor's American. You're Venezuelano. You're Venezuelan. You speak Spanish. He speaks English. How do you communicate? Diego speaks Spanish. Okay. Do you use a translator? Sometimes. Okay. She's going to be firm and fair and calm and business attire. Okay. That's the way to get through the visa interview. Okay. Business attire. Don't be nervous. If you don't know the answer to a question, say, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. Karina might get this question. Karina, your sponsor, your American citizen sponsor, Diego, was married to a foreign national before and went through a K-1 visa process in the past. Are you familiar with this? Yes, I know all about this. He explained it to me. Do you know where the person lives? Yes, I do. Do you know the person's name? Yes, I know the person's name. Do you have an issue with that? Not at all. Okay? You got to be transparent. So relax, Denise. He's going to be just fine, okay? No problems. He's going to get his visa. Adriana Sarango Nunes. Okay, hello, Diego and Karina. When we checked the USCIS requirements for a K visa, first package, the birth certificate wasn't listed. No, it's not necessary. It's not necessary in the K-1 visa first package when you first submit it, but I included it, okay? It's not necessary, but I included it in the K-1 visa package. I paid $535 to immigration. I'm going to load up that visa package, and they're going to work for it. And they did. They knew her birth certificate. They knew I proved her citizenship. I included her police certificate from Colombia and Venezuela. Was that required? No, but I included it. It makes the visa package really strong. The immigration officer knows in the service center in California that Karina is good. Okay, she's got a college degree in tax accounting. Was that necessary to include in the K-1 visa? No, but I included it. Immigration said, "Oh, this young kid's got a college degree." Okay, boom. Oh, she doesn't have a police record. She's good. Boom. Okay, this is Diego's second K-1 visa package. He's on his second go around. Okay, but his fiance is intelligent. She's familiar with his first K-1 visa package. She knows about the first one. So everything's good. Boom, got approved. But I only get 2 chances. Adriana Nunes, will we get an RFE? For what, Adriana? What would you get an RFE for? Let's see. Let me go back and see. For what? Tell me what you're worried about on an RFE, Adriana. Tell me what your concern is. Angel, is it mandatory to change the last name? Not mandatory at all. If you are a beneficiary, female, young lady, and you want to keep your maiden name, you can do that. No problem at all. You know, not a problem. Karina wants to change her name to my name. No problem for me. We'll do that. But it's not mandatory. Immigration do not require it. It's a family thing with us. History blitz. Our interview went well. Just asked about financial paperwork. There you go. How we met. There you go. Has she ever been married and does she have kids? There you go. They're going to ask Karina the same thing, Has Diego been married before? Yeah, he was divorced. And she was a foreign national. Okay. Simple questions. Angel Tate, a popular question that is asked is, how many times has your fiance been married? Yeah, that's a popular question. I've heard people getting denied for being unable to answer the question. It could happen. You better know the answer, Mr. Sponsor, Miss Sponsor. That can happen, definitely. Because immigration has lost confidence in the person. I know how many times I've been married, okay? And Karina knows. And if they ask her that question, she'll respond. Boom. Got to be transparent. If the immigration officer feels that you're trying to hide something from your beneficiary, then your visa will get denied. Let's see. Kaiser H. Diego, do you know how long it takes for one to receive the 2-year conditional green card? After the adjustment of status. Depends on where you live. You're in the state of Minnesota, could be 6 to 8 months, is my guess. State of Minnesota is north. It doesn't have a big population up there in Minnesota. It's a small population. So about 6 to 8 months will be my guess. Vivian Chiamaka Izuma. Hi, Diego. How are you doing? How is Karina? We're doing great, Vivian. High five for you. Adriana Nunez. I was worried about the birth certificate missing on our first package. No, you're good. No, don't worry about it. If you didn't include it, you're good. But you got to include it at the visa interview, okay? If you didn't put the birth certificate in the K-1 visa package, you're relaxed. It's no problem. You don't have to. But when you go to the visa interview, you got to have it, and it's got to be translated into English, okay, by a certified translator. Vivian, do you think that the U.S. consulate at my embassy will have access to pictures we submitted at the USCIS? Not unless you give it to them. Unless maybe the MVC will mail that package, because the USCIS probably mailed that package of pictures to the MVC, and then the MVC will mail that package of pictures to the embassy or the consulate. It depends on the MVC. But you need to bring a second batch of pictures with you for the visa interview, okay? Sheena Anderson. Hey, Sheena, you're in Maryland, and your beneficiary is in Dubai, right? Diego, we also included our birth certificate with our K-1 visa. There you go. Good job. It's not necessary. It's not a requirement, but I recommend it, because immigration can then identify your beneficiary. Immigration knew at the service center in California who Karina was. There's a biographic page of her Venezuelan passport. Here's her birth certificate, and she's identified already. Now, probably what they could have done is run her birth certificate through the Venezuelan government, right? Because there's a record in Caracas, Venezuela. You never know what they're doing behind the scenes. I just made immigration's job a lot easier to get the visa approved, with more confidence. Let's see. Sheena, hey, Sheena, we hope you're doing well. Antonio Martinez, 96 days and counting, still waiting for a welcome letter. Fiance's in Thailand. Okay, give it another 10 days. But here's what I would do. Tomorrow or later on tonight, submit an inquiry. Submit an inquiry to the MVC. Say, hey, what's the status on my welcome letter? Because Thailand is processing K-1 visas, okay? It's taken about 20 months to 22 months for the total process for Thailand right now. But they're processing K-1 visas. Denise, Diego, my fiance has moved since we filed. Is there any harm in not letting the embassy know? The address is not recognized like we do here in the United States. In fact, can't send them. No, you don't have to notify immigration. Denise, the only time you need to tell immigration when somebody moves is if it's you. If Denise Jefferson, if you move during this process, you need to tell immigration. If your beneficiary moves, you don't have to. It's irrelevant, okay? Don't worry about it. As long as immigration can get in touch with you, Denise, okay, they know where you are, they got your email address and your phone number, whatever, then you're fine. Because you right now, Denise, are in control of this process. Your beneficiary is not. Sheena, correct. Maryland and Dubai. Yeah, Maryland and Dubai. And, you're going to be reunited. Dubai is a beautiful country. And I called called my attorney pal in Medellin today, and I asked him, how much is this doctor fee going to be? Because the doctor in Bogota wouldn't tell me how much his medical fees were. And it's like $350 for the medical exam here for Bogota. So I found out today how much it's going to cost the medical exam. And I found out today what vaccinations that Karina is going to require, if any, for the immigration medical exam. No problem, Denise. Glad to help you. Glad to help you. Yeah. All the while you're going through this process, as long as immigration can get in touch with you, you're good. If you move, you got to tell immigration. Not because they care that you move, but they want to be able to reach you. They got to be able to reach you. Kaiser H. Diego, when does the residency time start for my beneficiary? Okay, that will start on the issue date on her 2-year green card. Kaiser H. When your beneficiary, when you guys get married and she gets her 2-year green card, okay, there's going to be an issue date on the green card. The issue date is when the clock starts for when she can start working towards her citizenship. Say for Karina, when Karina gets to America, she gets her 2-year conditional green card. On the issue date, we're going to say, okay, in 36 months from now, we can apply for U.S. citizenship. But 3 months before that 2-year conditional green card expires, okay, before it expires, we have to apply for a 10-year green card. We have to lift the conditions on the 2-year green card, okay? She gets her 10-year green card, probably she have it maybe 6 months, and then we're going to apply, or no, it would be a year, then we're going to apply for citizenship. Let's see, Jason, the DS-160 is only valid for 30 days. You're right. Is the DS-116 fee included with the embassy interview fee? The DS-160 is free. There is no charge, Jason, for the DS-160. It's a totally free form, okay? Absolutely no cost. So when you fill out and submit the DS-160, it's a free submission. The only thing you got to pay for is the visa processing fee, which is basically you're paying the person to process the K-1 visa, to upload and put it into the passport. But the DS-160 is absolutely free, and the submission is absolutely free. Sheena, yes, Dubai medical exam is $300. Yeah, it's about that price for Bogota, 300, 350, somewhere in there. Jeff Mantok, hey Diego, hello Jeff, high five to you, Jeff. Antonio Martinez, as of June 15th, NBC said the following: your petition is now waiting for data entry. Okay, so you just kick back and wait. What they're doing is they're waiting for the embassy to get freed up. Nikita Ajane, hi Diego, hey Nikita, high five. Adriana, hello Diego, hope this doesn't sound dumb. Does the medical exam result should be translated? No, the medical exam, it's not a dumb question. Guys, there's never a dumb question in this group. This channel is all for you. There's no dumb questions. Don't be afraid to ask me anything. The medical exam doesn't have to be translated. It's going to be in English in a sealed envelope anyway. Nikita, in how many days will I receive the RFE once USCIS has posted it? Takes about a week, Nikita. Give them a week. Janiela James, I'm still waiting on my welcome letter. The email from the NVC, I'm in the 3rd month. Yeah, so it's, like I said, 65 to 110 days. Immigration hasn't forgotten about you, but what you can do is start at the 90-day mark, start sending inquiries to NVC. Hey, what's the status? Where's my welcome letter? Start hitting them with inquiries, okay? Denise, Diego, does Karina have to be a citizen to send for her mother? Yes. or is the application really filed by you, similar to the K1? I'm timed out with K1. I'm timed out with petitions. I'm done. I'm on 2. This is number 2. I can't petition again. Do you think the green card holder can make their application? A green card holder can apply to bring somebody to the United States, yes, as a petitioner, but it takes forever. It's like it's an insane amount of time. But a U.S. citizen is put into a different category as a family member. Okay, I'm a U.S. citizen. I applied for Karina. Boom, boom, rapid, right? Number 2, Karina, when she becomes a U.S. citizen, more likely she's going to want to bring her mom to the United States. I got no problem with that. We got plenty of room, and I'll be glad to help her and, get her mom the heck out of communist Venezuela. Oof. I feel sorry for the people living in Venezuela. God protect them. Let's see here. Make sure I don't miss anybody. So yeah, but if you're a green card holder, Denise, can apply for a person, but it's better for a U.S. citizen to do it. When Karina's an American citizen, then we'll see if her mom may not want to live here. She might like to stay in Venezuela. That's fine. That's on her mom. But yeah, we'll wait till Karina's a citizen before we do anything like that. Nikita, do I have to sign the letter of intent and post it via mail, or can I sign it and scan it? Can't scan it. You got to mail it. It's got to be in black ink. No scans. Okay. It's got to be an original signed letter. Sign it, date it, put it in a DHL folder, and ship it, or get on a plane and bring it to her. Kaiser, Diego, so from the date on the 2-year conditional green card for my beneficiary till the completion of 3 years for her in the United States, then I can file the N-400. You're right. You got it, man. High five, Kaiser. You got it. It's easy, isn't it? This stuff is easy. But you try to read this on the immigration website, or you call an immigration attorney, and you're thrown into confusion mode. I'm kidding. Immigration attorneys do a great job, okay? If you hire one, that's no problem with me. They do a good job. But to me, I don't need one. Jacob, when you inquire the MVC, is it just at the MVC site? Yeah, MVC, New Hampshire, one place. Denise Jefferson, so you as a U.S. citizen have no rights to get her here. Her mom? I don't know. That's a good question. I probably have rights. Yeah, I have rights to get her here. Sure. I'm her family member now. I will be her son-in-law. So yeah, I have a right to bring her here. But I've used up 2 visas already. I'm timed out. I'm maxed out. If I fill out a visa application for her mom, okay, I'm going to have to put down there I'm a multiple filer. My first wife didn't work out. Okay. Then I have Karina, who's going to be with me for eternity. That's number 2. And then our mom will be number 3 for visa processing. I'm timed out. I'm maxed out. So Karina can do it. I would have to get a letter, and a mother may I letter, and I'd have to get the permission from the federal government to do it. But me as a U.S. citizen, she's my son. I'm her son-in-law to be. I could petition for her, sure, but I can't. I've maxed out all my visas. Adriana Sariengo Nunes, thank you. No problem, Adriana. Tasha Lynn's World, how long after K1 visa is approved you can file for your parents? Well, you first get through your K1 visa process, okay? Once you get in the United States and get your green cards, then you can apply if you want to. But it's a lot longer and a lot more difficult doing it from a green card. It's more efficient and more quicker doing it from the position of a U.S. citizen. Okay. Now, I'm not trying to stop you from applying. I'm just trying to help you understand that it's quicker. You could apply for your parents on a green card, and it takes, maybe 4 or 5 years. But if you apply as a U.S. citizen, if Karina, when she applies for her mom as a U.S. citizen, it will take maybe 12 months. Big difference in time. Let's see. Yami Konga, Ade Besson. How long does the process take from South Africa? Now, I've been to South Africa, And it's taken about 18 to 20 months total in beautiful South Africa. Suid-Afrika, Afrikaans. See, ek please daddy. South Africa, beautiful country. Nikita, after my RFE documents are sent in, after how long can I expect my approval? Takes about 6 to 8 weeks, Nikita. You added about 6 weeks to the process. Midwoman, Diego, can I have my parents apply for tourist visa and have them say that the reason for a visit is to see my wedding? Sure, absolutely. They need to get on it. Tashalan's World, thank you, no problem. Midwoman in the U.S., sure, Midwoman. Midwoman, if your family has a right to come to the U.S. as tourists to become part of the wedding process, sure, absolutely. Okay, guys, I have been talking and chatting and rambling for 1 hour and 25 minutes. Okay, I'll talk for 5 more minutes, and then I'm going to go get a Mountain Dew. Thanks to Pete B. I got a fridge full of Mountain Dew. Midwoman, will they be denied thinking that they will stay in the U.S. forever? No, they're going to be tourists. But they have to show that they're going to be going back home. When they go to the B2 tourist visa interview, okay, they have to prove that they're going to come back to the United States. I mean, to their home country. Correction, backpedal. So how do they prove they're going to go back to their home country? They got a house, they got a bank account, they got friends, they got a church, all that kind of stuff. But a B2 visa is no problem. They just got to prove the immigration officer at the embassy or the consulate has to believe that they're going to go back home to their home country after the wedding. So that's what they have to prove. Denise, so what type of visa is filed to get my fiance's mother here, who is really a stranger to me? I think it's an I-130, family member. I have to investigate. Remember, I'm the expert on K1s, K2s, and CR1s and IR1s. I'm not an expert on bringing mom over to the USA. I'm not an expert, so I don't have the knowledge of that for that question. But in my mind, I think it's an I-130 family member. It's a family member visa. But I'm guessing. But I think that's a pretty good guess. But I don't want to give you any bad information, okay? So I'm not educated on bringing mom over here. But I'm going to get educated on it, I'm pretty sure, when Karina's here, because that's going to be our next mission for her mom. Okay, guys. Hold on a second. Angel, Denise, even if the U.S. citizen filed for his mom, it will take a long time because his mom is a relative and not a considered close, such as a child. That's true. But, okay, guys, I'm out of here. I'm going to go get a Mountain Dew. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Thanks for your time. And I will see you guys. What day is it today, guys? I keep losing track of time. Wednesday, so Saturday. Saturday. Be here or be square.